here at Syndicate Lake in Surrey, and had the first one of the spring this year, middle of March. Really pleased to get off the mark on the first real trip this year. And talking about big carp fishing, which is something that really interests me now. My carp fishing in recent years has rather become about catching big carp from different waters. I really enjoy the challenge of fishing different venues, sometimes for one particular fish, other times for a number of big carp. And I'll travel to these waters, and it's something that I think tests you as an angler as well, fishing different waters, looking up their history and targeting fish is something that I've really found excites me, and as I said earlier, it really makes you a better angler. One of the most important things for me is research, and I look up about past captures, times of year especially, and then go into finer detail like areas of the lake, specific features sometimes you can find, and then for me it's a case of getting down there with the marker rod, with some bait, and just researching and building a picture when I'm not actually fishing. That's when I want to do my real work, and when I find what I'm looking for and the areas I want to target, I can do all that work, which is a massive advantage before I actually start fishing. I know sort of what I'm looking for. I can get my baits and rigs out with minimal disturbance, and I can build that picture, so when I've got my sort of limited time, I'm there and I'm straight on it, which is a really big advantage, and it means that you can target these big difficult venues with that minimum time. I use out and out big fish rigs, which is another thing, and I think probably the most important thing is covertness of your tackle and the stealth with your end tackle. I'm a real believer now that big carp are far more wary of lines in the water than they are rigs and baits. So main lines like fluorocarbon, clear lines with really, really good sinking abilities are a massive part of my armoury. Big fish rigs like hinge stiff rigs with big size 5 hooks and pop-ups, which are always associated with big fish rigs, are always my starting point, and quite often you will have the big ones because you might get less bites, but you're using rigs that are big fish rigs, and you know, covert end tackle is a big thing. Getting bait in advance is another aspect, and again, you know, these are all things you can do when you're not actually fishing, so when you are there you're maximising your time, and that to me is what I will do as much as I possibly can. So bait, I'm a pop-up fan for my bait, but I'll introduce bait at the right times, and as I say, you know, even with limited time, if catching big carp is available to anyone, it's just a little bit more work when you're not fishing, but that is all part of the enjoyment, and to put it all together when you get a big fish at the end, it's really, really satisfying, far more satisfying, and that's what I get the big buzz out of carp fishing now.